Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another palette review for you, and we are going to be talking about the new Natasha Denona Triochrome palette, however you say that. And a lot of people are either really hyped for this one or are not so sure because it is the more expensive Natasha Denona palettes. So let's go ahead and get into some details here. This is what the packaging looks like, and it is kind of a shade shifter type of palette because this palette is based off of her Multichromes, which I believe are a new formula for her. So this is what it looks like, and you have the 3 Multichrome shades in the middle, and she kind of did a color story around each one. So you can kind of go row by row to create a look, which is what I'm going to be doing in my video today. I did 3 different looks. So this palette is going for $129. Some of you guys might be looking at it like, oh, it looks like her smaller palettes, why is it that much? But it's actually a little bit bigger. As you guys can see, this is her usual like $65 palettes. This one is bigger, and also the pan sizes are bigger in this one. So let me compare. You get more eyeshadow. So as you can see, they're going to charge more because you get more product, and I feel like probably these multi-chrome shades are a little bit harder to make, probably a little bit more expensive materials, but I believe she mentioned that they are the same size as these big ones. So let me show you. So my big palette is the Lila palette. Looking at size, these are about the same size. This one just has the hard packaging, this one has the softer one, but it looks like they have the same amount of shadows. Let me count here. Yeah, they both have 15 eyeshadows and they are the same size. So this is the same size as the big palettes from Natasha Denona that are usually $129. So it seems like the price is definitely on par with her other items. So this palette contains 3 multi-chrome shadows, and then the rest are all matte shades, and I actually got a really good discount on mine. I'll link this down below with the code if it's still going on, but BoxyCharm had a code with Natasha Denona because there is Natasha Denona in the BoxyCharm boxes this month, so it was NDXBoxy, and I saved 25% off my palette, plus I also got free shipping, and it was 2-day shipping, so it got here today. Super fast. Was very impressed with her website because it shipped so quick, and also the packaging was very well. Like nothing was going to be breaking in those boxes. They had so much bubble wrap in boxes, and I know Sephora is not always the best with packaging their items, so you can save a little bit more with that code if it is still going on. I don't know if she took it off because I don't know if it was supposed to be used on these, but I did get it that way. I know with Sephora they also have their sale going on, so you can save the 20% off as well. So I think mine ended up being around 90 something, so much better for me than the $130. I feel like I saved quite a bit on this, so I'm pleased with that. Now I've kind of gone over the details here, let me go ahead and show you some swatches. So let me swatch these multi-chrome shades in the palette by themselves so you guys can see it. First up is the green, which is called a Scarab, and this one is like a green with a gold shift to it, as you guys can see. The next one is called Kinetic. It's described as color shifts of purple, fuchsia, and neutral silver, but I feel like this one doesn't shift as much. The last one down here is called Color Flip, and this one I feel like definitely has a lot of color changes going on, but it's like a more muted tone. And this one is described as color shifts of pink, nude, and green. So very unique kind of color, but those are the chrome shades in here. And I will say I am kind of newer to multi-chromes. I don't have a lot. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned that a bunch of indie brands have similar ones like this. I feel like these are common colors that people use for these type of chromes, but this is new to me, so I don't have anything like this. So for me, it was really fun to purchase this palette because I don't have anything like it. And even though you guys might, this review is going to be based off of my opinion, and I just don't really have a lot to compare it to. Now let me get into the swatches of the entire palette together. As you can see, this one contains some really pretty shades here, and I feel like the color schemes definitely go with each chrome shade, which is really fun. So those are kind of the details of the palette. Let's go ahead and get into the 3 different looks I did. Alright guys, so like I mentioned, my goal is to do 3 looks today with each of the trichromes in the palette because there is 3 of them, so we'll be doing 3 looks. Alright, so for our green look here, I think I'm going to take Ion in the crease, this bright green. I'm using my Refa brush 01 again, it's my favorite. And we're just going to place that there. This almost actually looks yellow on the skin, but it's a very unique color that I don't have in many palettes. I'm going to build that up a bit with the shade Vert here. Now this color kind of reminds me of like Beetlejuice. I know Melt Cosmetics did that Beetlejuice palette, but I feel like this literally looks like that with the purples and greens in here. I'm surprised how bright these are. Next I'm going to go into Scrap over here, this darker brownish green, and place this in the outer corner. And then I'm also going to place that in the inner corner too. With that same rougher brush, I am going to take that Scrap shade again on the lower lash line. Alright, wetting my brush, I'm going into Mascara. We're going to try the brush option first. And place this, ooh! Yeah, that totally works with the brush. I'm placing that in the center. And then I'll go ahead and just kind of blend those edges with my detail brush. And there you have it. So stinking pretty. So I wanted to add just a few touches to this look. I only put some blush on. So I used the Patrick Ta She's So LA blush. I'll have these linked down below. I don't have any bronzer or highlight on. I did throw some lashes on as well so you can kind of see it together. I love how it looks with the lashes. And then I chose for this lipstick with this look. This is the Too Faced Peach Kiss, I believe, in Sunday Funday, which is one of my go-to peachy shades. These smell so good, and I love like peach with green. I think it looks so good. If you're ever wondering what kind of a lip to do with this, I suggest a peach color. So I'll have all those linked down below, but yeah, this is the fun green look for today. Okay, so now we're going to do a look using the purples in the palette with the Kinetic Multichrome shade. Let's go ahead and go in with this Nausea shade here. Like a lavender, and place this in the crease. Ooh, that's really pretty. Next we're going to go in with Tungsten here, like a more pinky color, and also place that in the crease. And that'll just darken it up a bit. And then I'm going to take the shade Manganese, this deeper plum, and put this in the outer corner. And I'm going to try and kind of point it out a bit more. Next we'll use the Kinetic shade, and that's going to go on the lid, just in the inner and middle portion. I feel like this would look a lot better with a really dark plum, in my opinion. But it still works with this kind of berry shade. For my lower lash line, I'm going to use Tungsten. And then I'll go in with Manganese again. So here's the finished look, just adding a couple things for the rest of my makeup for the purples. And I think the last look will be my main look, so I am going to like take this whole makeup off and just do it from scratch. But I just kind of wanted to show you how each of the colors looked. So this is the second look. All right, for our next look here, we are going to go into the shade Diatonic down here in the last row and put this in the crease. It's a light peach. And then we'll go in with Garmin, this brown in the crease as well. Now this row doesn't really have a deeper tone, so let me try that Scrap shade in the outer corner and see what that's going to do for this look. For the lower lash line, I'm going to use Plutonium with gold. And adding a little bit of Garmin there to blend it out. Alright, now with my finger, I'm going to go in with the Multichrome, which is Color Flip. I think this one's going to be so cool. And place this on the lid. Oh yeah, this one looks really good with that Scrap dark shade. So this is how this one looks. I feel like this color is a little bit more softer. Like the green was definitely the most vibrant, and this one just seems more muted. but I'm gonna add the rest of my makeup and show you the finished look. Okay guys, so here is the full and final look. I went a little bit more dramatic with my makeup for this one, since this is also gonna be the intro and outro of the video, using the last row. So for my final thoughts here, overall, I'm really pleased with the quality of this palette. I'm really excited to have it in my collection. I'm really glad though that I got a discount on it, because I do think it is pretty expensive, and I don't know if this is going to be worth it for everyone. Of course, also if you already have these kind of shades from indie brands, you're probably like, I don't really need this. It's definitely special for Natasha to do this, but I know a lot of other brands have done this. I'm excited though to have it for me to kind of play with these kind of shades and maybe branch out a bit more, try some different brands that do these kind of chrome shades. I do have some drawbacks though. Although all the colors blended beautifully, I feel like this is very pastel looking, and I think it could have used some darker tones in here. So I'm not mad at it though. Like the pastel colors in here are beautiful. She just used a lot of very light tones, which I feel like look a little odd with the dark chromes that are in the palette that she picked. So I really feel like you do need some kind of darker shades. I feel like you could do some better looks that way, more dramatic, but as I was reading her site, I guess she was trying to make this more wearable. So for the everyday person who doesn't do a lot of color, you can definitely create some wearable looks and experiment a little bit, which I love. The top row is definitely the most drastic for me with all the greens, and then that scarab shade was so pretty. I wish that kinetic shade had a little bit more shift to it, and I really do like this color flip one that I have on the eyes now. I was mentioning that it's more muted, but I just think it looks so pretty tied together with the look. Of course, she did make this really easy for us to kind of create looks going row by row, but you can definitely mix and match. Like I mixed this scrap shade, which I feel like I'm going to be using a lot with the other tones because it is the darkest shade in the palette, but yeah, it really does need some deeper tones, I think. But like I mentioned, for the everyday person who just wants to kind of experiment a bit with color, this is really nice because it's very easy to use and can create some beautiful colorful looks for the neutral lover. Like, I mean, for me, I think this is good because I don't go too drastic with my colors. I do like a little bit more muted like this, very easy, wearable, and I always get compliments from you guys on that because there's just different types of people who like to do their makeup in different ways. And I'm curious to see if she does anything else and creates more chrome shades. I think it would be cool if she did like a mini palette of just the chrome colors, so you can kind of experiment with it in different looks, different palettes that you have. But yeah, overall, I would say I'm like in between with this one. It's not my favorite ever from Natasha, but I do think it's going to be a really fun one to play with and definitely more colorful for Natasha. She doesn't usually do palettes like this, but I'm curious to see what else she will come up with in the future. So those are kind of my thoughts on it. All the looks I did were very easy to do. Like I mentioned, the shadows are very beautiful, buttery soft, very easy to blend. I didn't have any issues there. So quality, it's amazing, 10 out of 10. So that's all I have to talk about with this palette. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I'm super curious to see if you guys are going to be picking this up, if you like it, if you're not really into it. Also, let me know if you guys have tried any chrome shadows from other brands that you're like obsessed with, because I definitely want to kind of dive in to that area a bit more and try some different things. So thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys.